Hello, everyone. My name is Cris Duncan. I'm the director of the Texas School of Professional Photography, and I'm joined by one of our amazing instructors, Jamie Hayes, who co-teaches a class Mastering the Art and Business of Photography with Mary Fisk-Taylor. Welcome, Jamie. Glad you could spend some time with us.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having us. I'm super excited about Texas School this year, so let's dive right in.
Yeah. So someone may not know you. Maybe they're new to the industry or just new to Texas school and they're considering it. Tell us, what would they like to know about you? What could you tell them about you, your history, your business, and what brought you here?
Okay, cool. So Mary and I have been business partners for 30 years. I actually met her photographing her bridal portrait. She's still happily married. I'm not her husband, I'm her day husband. I've have started photographing when I was around 7 years old. Picked up a camera, bought it from S&H Green Stamps, and knew that this was my destiny in life. So I've been a photographer all as much as I can imagine. Started my first wedding when I was 15. Photographed my first wedding when I was 15. Got my first job when I was 18 in photography, and have worked for two studios before opening this one with Mary 30 years ago.
Wow, that's
And we
fantastic.
we photograph families, children, weddings. We oil paint on top of our portraits, which is something very unique to this region.
Mhm.
A legacy that we've carried on, and now we're the kind of the last one of two people standing that even know how to do the process, much less have desired to continue it on, as all of the brick and mortar studios in this area have no longer they no longer exist.
Yeah.
Um, so we photograph a little bit of everything, commercial photography, you name it. Basically, we're photographers for money. So if you're going to pay me, luckily, with what we're going to teach you at Texas School, you'll have the skill set to be able to photograph anything without fear.
Oh, wow. That's quite a tagline. That's fantastic. So
Yeah.
so what would a day in your class look like? I know it's 5 days and there may be some back and forth and some changes through day to day, but what would like a typical day with Mary and Jamie look like in Texas school?
Sure. So it starts off with Mary in the morning. So the first part of the class before lunch, Mary teaches everything you'd want to know about how to run a profitable, sustainable, and satisfying business. So marketing, sales, everything having to do with getting people in the door and
Mhm.
making the financial commitment work. Because without the money part, the photography is just a hobby. So being able to build and sustain yourself or your family from your income solely on photography is always our main goal. And then in the afternoon, from lunch on, I teach you how to back that up. So, it's a tall order. If you do everything right that Mary will share with you, you'll have sessions on the books and clients waiting. So I teach you how to take it from there, using one simple lighting concept to light anything in the world forever and always. I've only photographed everything I've done in my entire career the exact same way from day one. So film to digital, we had no transition whatsoever in the way
Wow.
we light, the way we meter. And it allows photographers not to have to visit a location ahead of time, depend on natural light. You can photograph in wind, rain, beach, morning, night, and you can match anything you have ever photographed for your clients across an entire lifetime.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure after 30 years of the business, you've seen, a client bring in child one and you do the family, and then they say, "Oh, I love what you did of little Johnny, when he was 3. I want Susie to have that when she's 3." And you've got to match it. And right now,
Yeah.
and so I'm sure you've had that, and that becomes a part of the workflow that has made y'all successful.
Yeah, we have a lot of clients. As most photographers, I would assume if you're in the family and children realm, if you do your job right, you become a client for life, right? And you see your children, see your family through their whole family
Yeah.
history and their legacy. And I knew early on that since I will die with a camera in my hand, that there's no retirement for me. The photography is just a whole different level for me. I knew that in my later years of life, I might not remember what I did in the past. So I was smart enough early on to say if I only do things one way, I'll always know how I did it.
There you go.
And funny enough, we followed true on that. So everything I do, I never have to guess how I photographed it because I only photograph one way. My camera settings are normally they're always f11. I shoot
Mhm.
f11 all the time. So it's opposite of natural light and shooting wide open. But it allows me to shift and pivot from session to session to session and never have to worry about is someone going to be in focus, if they're going to order a large print from this or a large wall
Right.
product, is it going to hold up? Is it going to work? And it's given me the ability not to think about the process of photography when I'm actually photographing. So the camera, the settings, the lighting, I don't even think about that. I don't. The only thing I think about is engaging with the clients and making their experience the best it can be. And through a process of the lighting concept that we teach, I'll show you how you can easily, in 3 seconds, determine light for anything you're going to photograph one way or another. And really, you don't even have to look at the back of the camera. As a matter of fact, you can take the images directly out of the camera and do sales with the client without having to do any retouching or anything to them.
Yeah. Well, what a time saver that gives students or photographers this day, right?
Yeah. Well, in
Because
today's world too, I don't think clients' time is, we hear it all the time, right? I don't have time. I don't have time. So allowing the client to be able to order the portraits right then and there, right after the
Mhm.
session, while their enthusiasm is, while they're still high on
For
the
sure.
emotional roller coaster from the actual session. Again, if you do your job right, I think is a major shift that we'll see going forward, that people appreciate that savings of time to be able to come in and wrap it all up at one time.
Right. Yeah, that's great. So in the morning they're going to sit down with Mary and learn the foundations and fundamentals of running a good business. And one word you said is like a business that makes them happy, right? It's just,
Yeah.
I think you said a
Satisfied.
fulfilling business,
Yeah.
and I think that's such a great that your class embodies and the students leave with that, because you could teach them how to work hard and just do, and all they do is work and work, but to have it satisfying and fulfilling, give them part of that about their life back through the
Yeah.
tools you teach is so that leads me kind of my next question. So what it's 1 week after Texas school, their heads exploded with all this with the fun we have and the late nights and the parties and the course of quality education. What is there someone that took your class? What's a student's life like? How they're going to be able, what are they going to be able to do? I think you've hit on some of this already, but what will
Yeah.
they be able to do a week after Texas school that they couldn't do the week before Texas school?
I think the biggest thing would be confidence all the way around. Confidence in knowing that they have a plan to how to attack the business part,
Hmm.
a plan on sales, right? How to interact with the client. I know early on, and I can only use myself as an experience, but
Sure.
early on in my career, the sales part was really scary because I found myself talking a whole lot,
Yeah.
right? To make up for the part that I'm nervous and hoping and praying that the clients loved what we did, right? Enough to purchase it. So having plans for all of these, you can track where something didn't go wrong or where something went exactly right. And that way it's a repeatable process.
Hmm.
And I think giving a student or any photographer the confidence to know that I got this in the sales room and I got this behind the camera will allow them to not be afraid to take any chances. And not be afraid to turn to say, I want to do other things. I think what we found over the past couple decades is that photographers tend to niche what they do. Oh, I only want to do maternity. Ooh, I only want to
Hmm.
do sports. I only want to do volume, right? And in the world today, especially as AI approaches, I think a well-rounded photographer should be able to not say no to anything that walks in the business in the door to pay you for photography, right? Anyone, regardless. If they have money and you're a photographer, you should be able to photograph it. I think the fear comes in that the way a lot of photographers teach these days is they teach within their specialty, right? So I only do maternity, so I take a class for maternity, and then they have specific lighting, specific aperture, camera settings,
Sure.
specific things you do specifically for that type. And I think it's very scary for people coming new into the industry or just starting that they feel they have to relearn every niche. And that's why they stay focused on one. We kind of flip that on its end. We teach you the skills to run any type of business and to photograph any subject, period. I don't care whether it's a sandwich or a group of 1,000 people on a football field, right?
Mhm.
If we give you the skills to be able to photograph anything and not be afraid of it, and have confidence to know that it's going to work regardless with simple equipment. Here's the deal too. It's got to be simple. It's got to be easy. I think photographers, after taking our class, will be able to go back to their studios and be able to have confidence to photograph anything they want to make a living. And I think that's going to be very important going forward, especially over the next 10 years in this industry.
Absolutely.
I think photographers are going to need to shift and be able to do all kinds of things, not just one specialty.
Oh, I completely agree. And I think that's what's kept you and Mary being profitable and sustainable and having a business in Virginia for so many years, right? If you were just niched, you would have not been able to
Yep.
survive. So
And
Yeah.
things come in and out of popularity. The average consumer these days, they're good for about 20 seconds of attention span. So, it's easy for them to shift and move on, but building a relationship with a family and knowing that you can do everything for them. Because if you're only a maternity photographer, you're going to have a hard time transitioning into families and all that sort of stuff because they're only going to see you as that maternity photographer and they've passed that section of life,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Until they need it again. So I think being more well-rounded and offering lots of different things, but again, more importantly, having the confidence to know I know how to photograph. I don't have to change what I do. If a client needs something, it's easy. Because over the years, I think the biggest thing for our students is they've just haven't had the confidence or a system in place
Hmm.
that allows them to know that they get the shot without looking on the back of the camera,
Yeah.
right? And listen, all of these things go back to the film days. I'm not creating anything new here. This is the exact same way it was back in the film days because you didn't have these technology assets
Awesome.
to help you, right? You had to learn a fundamental set of skills
Sure.
that would carry you through everything.
Yeah, sure. I think it's exciting. I mean, if I was just learning photography, what you're talking about, I feel like that's what I'd be attracted to. Like, wow, I can have someone help me set up my business. And stay tuned for other conversations. We have one with Mary as well, so you get to hear her whole side of the class, like we're getting with Jamie. And then, but the confidence, I know when I first started out, you're so nervous. You're like, am I going to do this right? I hope the clients like it. I hope I don't screw this up, and they'll tell their friends. And then they tell their friends and someone comes in and go through the same thing again. Oh no, I hope I can do this.
Yeah.
So I think giving a student confidence, I mean, what a great, I mean, I can't think of much you could hand down to a student or you could give somebody than that. And the
Mhm.
belief that, hey, you do got this.
Yeah.
And I know you and Mary personally have known you a long time and know that even when they leave Friday after Texas school, that they can call you and say, "What was this?" or "I'm
Sure.
struggling with this," and
Yeah.
that's the culture we've built at Texas School is that you may be with them for a week, but you have them as mentors and friends for life, that community. So,
Yeah, we have the fishbowl community on our social media platforms, so we stay engaged with students. And a lot of things I've had a lot of students reach out helping with trying to get their master's degree through PPA, through
mhm,
MIR, or IPC. So
mhm,
it's great to be able to stay connected, and I think that's the cool thing. That we can stay connected and help students go through anything that any rough spots they may have. Because you know what, it's easy to go through the easy spots, right? When you're fully booked and things are going great
right,
and there's money in and all of that, it's easy. The hard part is when that is not the case,
right,
right?
right.
And that's when you really have to lean back into and have somebody else at least to know that they've got your back and they've experienced it and they can help you out of it.
Right. I mean, it sounds cliche, and I know we've said it a lot, and I'm sure you've heard it, and people that may have attended Texas school or are looking at Texas school the first time have heard it. It's like, oh, it's a family, but it really is. The community is
Yeah.
such a big part of it. Obviously, we want you to come to Texas school and get great education and learn from our fabulous instructors. But man, you build such a community because if you're trying to do this alone, you're doing it the hard way. You definitely need
Well, and
people.
the great thing too about Texas school is the community. So, and this has been an adage for years and years, is that sometimes you learn more outside the classroom just by fellow photographers,
Mhm.
but you also can find other photographers that can help you when you need an extra photographer for an assignment, right? You have people
Sure.
that you can trust and reach out to. We've even seen students join together and co-rent spaces, right? To
Oh, that's
create and
handy.
expand their businesses.
Yeah.
And that's something that is very unique to Texas school, just because of the consistency of over 50 years of this school
Yeah.
and the community too. It's unlike, for anyone attending the first time, it's unlike anything you'll ever experience if you've ever been to an in-person event. You can't
Mhm.
imagine what Texas school is like
Yeah.
because
And
nothing
it's
compares.
and I wish we could convey it better than we've been able to because it's almost like you once you're there, you understand, but it's hard
Yeah.
to get people to get that. So we are getting close on our time, Jamie. It's gone fast. I can't believe how fast it's gone. But um, let's play matchmaker for just a second.
Sure.
Who is your ideal student for you and Mary? What do you think your ideal student is?
Our ideal student is someone who has to put food on the table with photography. Okay, someone who needs to bring income in,
Mhm.
who's interested in creating a lifelong skill in photography, right? And how to navigate the bumps both in business and in photography, and someone who wants a one one solution answer to everything that they could put in front of the camera, right? I tell students at the beginning of the day, beginning of the class, you will know how to photograph everything and how every other photographer creates their images if you pay attention and you practice it.
Mhm.
You'll know everything about lighting from beginning to end. There's nothing that we leave off the table, but it doesn't have to be hard. We teach it to very simple, easy to understand, and the results too. So students get to photograph right along, bring cameras, bring computers. You will
Okay.
photograph and actually practice what we're doing so that you get those fundamental skills down.
Yeah. And if I remember correct, your class has a special where they can bring a portfolio and get critiques on their existing work and ways to enhance even what they're doing successfully, even to make it take it to the next level in their craft as well.
Yeah, for years we allow students to we actually meet with students ahead of the class so we can get that preliminary stuff out of the way. Where are you
Mhm.
struggling? What do you need help with? Why are you taking this class? The why. If we get the why out of the way, we can focus all week long on the how.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And you're not unique to Texas School that way. It's what I love about Texas School and being part of the community is instructors that they're not there just from April 26th through May 1. You know, you're there before. Hey, let's help you before so when you get to class, we're on the same page, and let's make sure you're in a part of a community afterwards. You know,
Yeah,
and
because
it's a
most of the students in our class, everybody's at different levels. Everybody's at different points in their
sure.
business. Some are just starting, some are well advanced. And the great thing is we can design our time, knowing this information ahead of time. We can design the class so that everyone wins in the end, regardless of where you come in on the chart, right? You'll walk away, hopefully, learning and being a whole lot better and solving a lot of the problems and issues the struggles that you're having in running
Right.
your current business and or hopefully eliminate some of the fears if you're just starting your business.
Yeah, that's fantastic that it's open to that. So whether you're just starting out, there's a place for you, or you've been doing this and you're in your growth journey, there's a place for you. If you feel like you're established, but you're not ready to close doors and you want to keep growing, there's a place for you.
Yeah. And then we also do something very unique. We oil paint. I hand oil paint on top of our portraits. That's all of these back here.
Mhm.
And these are,
Beautiful.
yeah. And we actually have one evening where all of our students, if they choose to, will actually finish an entire oil painting with us, a small oil
Oh,
painting. They'll
wow.
paint it from beginning, whether you've picked up a paintbrush or not. You can finish an oil painting, which gives you a very unique advantage in your marketplace
Mhm.
because it allows you to have a product that only you can create, and there's no competition because it's a handmade product.
Yeah.
It's not something they can get from anyone else but you.
And they can't get that from software and they can't get that from an
Correct.
AI generated image.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
That's
Yes.
great. Fantastic. So, well, Jamie, unfortunately, we're out of time. We only had a few minutes today, but I want to thank you for taking time to talk with us. For those that are looking at Texas School, check out Jamie Hayes and Mary Fisk-Taylor. It's Mastering the Art and Business of Photography. Again, Texas School's April 26th through May 1. We hope to see you there. For more information and register at texasschool.org. And we'll see you
Thanks,
in April,
Chris. Thanks,
Jamie.
y'all. We'll see you in Texas.
Thank you. Bye-bye.